Title: She boosted, "Wow, men line up for me" after mocking my boundaries at brunch. I paid, stood, and left the reservation under her name. When the bill for the extra round arrived without my card on file, the way her line disappeared was price. Start: She said it with a smirk. "Wow, men line up for me." The table laughed, her voice loud enough for strangers at the next booth. I sat there, still, as if my body were carved from stone. She was mocking me, again, in front of people. Mocking the boundaries I had drawn, twisting them into a joke for her own spotlight. I paid the bill without flinching, left the reservation under her name, and walked out. Silent, calculated. She thought it was nothing, a brunch jab she'd forget by evening. But she never understood. I don't forget. I never forget. We had been close once, close enough for me to answer her calls at midnight, close enough to rearrange my weekends when she needed company, close enough that she used to tell me, "You're the only real friend I have." I believed her. I defended her when others called her cruel, dismissive, self-centered. I excused the sharp edges, convinced myself her words weren't meant to cut. But a blade is still a blade, even if you pretend it's dull. The brunch was the breaking point, not just the line, not just the mockery. It was the look in her eyes, daring me to react, feeding on my restraint. That's when something in me shifted, something permanent. It wasn't hard to trace the cracks once I stopped romanticizing her friendship. Her lies were sloppy, her boasts reckless. She bragged about lines of men as though they were trophies. But beneath the bravado, there were debts. A credit card declined here, a panicked text there. She borrowed, always borrowed. She wore luxury but couldn't pay rent without help. And then there was me, her safety net, her audience, her quiet witness. Not anymore. I became patient, patient in a way she never could be. While she performed, I observed. Screenshots of her flippant messages, emails forwarded quietly, bank statements she forgot to hide when she used my laptop to order one little treat. All of it, stored. Evidence, like coals waiting for flame. Then I set the stage. Her birthday was approaching, her favorite excuse for excess. She wanted a weekend dinner, an exclusive reservation she bragged about for weeks. I booked it under her name just as she instructed. I let her brag. I let her talk. I let her gather her circle, all the people she loved to impress. I put my card down for the initial hold, then quietly removed it 2 days before. The restaurant never noticed. The reservation stood, but the liability shifted to her. All that remained was timing. That night she arrived draped in sequins, glittering under the dim lights. I sat across from her, smiling when she smirked, nodding when she reminded everyone how men adored her. She was radiant, loud, electric, the star of her own cruel play. I played my role, the quiet friend footing the bill. I ordered, I laughed, I let the wine flow. Every round she waved for, I let the waiter bring. I watched her soak in the envy of her friends. When the plates were cleared and dessert declined, I stood first, calm, gracious. I handed over my card, settled the first bill without hesitation. She smirked as if she'd won something again. But then she ordered another round, loudly, boastfully. "One more for the table. It's my night." That was my cue. I excused myself, kissed her cheek, whispered happy birthday, and walked out. My card wasn't on file anymore. Her name was. The call came 2 hours later. Slurred at first, then panicked. "Where are you? They want the bill. They say it's... No, they're charging me. It's under my name. They won't..." I listened to her voice break, her laughter dissolve. The restaurant didn't let them leave until she paid. And she had to. With her card, with her name. With her reputation collapsing in front of the very people she wanted to impress. The line of men she bragged about, not one stepped forward to help. They shifted in their seats, uncomfortable, embarrassed, waiting for her to fix it. They left her there, angry, humiliated, forced to cover what she could barely afford. Her power, gone in a single night. She called me the next day, accusing, spitting venom. "You knew, didn't you?" "Yes," I said, voice even. "You set me up." "I gave you the stage you always wanted," I replied. "The spotlight, the audience, and the bill. You always said men line up for you. Where were they?" Silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. For the first time, she had no comeback. After that night, she vanished from my life in fragments. The texts slowed, the calls stopped, the posts grew quieter. Friends whispered about her meltdown at the restaurant, about the overdraft, about the humiliation. She still sparkled online, but it was brittle now, desperate. And me? I slept soundly. Not from cruelty, from justice, from balance restored. She thought my silence was weakness. She thought my patience was surrender. She never understood. Silence is the sharpest blade. I don't raise my voice. I don't need to. I calculate, I execute, I watch. And when the final moment comes, I don't flinch. I paid, I stood, I left. And with one quiet step, her empire of vanity crumbled. No regrets, only closure.